Little farms well-tilled, little pockets well-filled. Farmer John's dad. Hi, I'm Tamara Michelle, and we are Real Conversations podcast, created in Dauphin, Manitoba, Canada. Today, Farmer John has me back on the farm to sow some winter wheat and to learn about his farm machinery. Thank you to our show sponsors, Bankert Marketing, Dr. Brenna and Three Graces Medispa, Real Security Solutions, Right Side Equipment of Dauphin, Oil Depot of Dauphin, Roofs, Furniture and Appliances of Dauphin, Tri-Family Health, Beauty and Fine Gifts of the Paw, Ramsey's Health and Fitness of Dauphin, Cloud9 Canna Supplies, Fudd's Corner Store, and Hearts to Nature Fine Art Nature Photography.
Winter wheat seeded. Today's Thursday. This was seeded Wednesday just before noon, and they're already, the seeds are, the ones that are hitting moisture have already started to imbibe, and he's a little wee tiny growth coming out of the end there. It's a little small yet, but it's starting the process. The seed has absorbed moisture.
So this is the beginning of germination then, you're saying within 24 hours.
Winter wheat is notorious for extremely fast popping out of the soil here. So.
And what did you say about the depth?
And we're seeding very shallow here. We're just tickling it in, I like to say. Like, it's just, you can see there, half an inch is what you want. I only want a half an inch deep. You don't want, my depth control is a little out here because the ground's not, and this drill is 30 years old, so.
But this is also the field that we plowed.
We just plowed this field, yeah.
Right, not that long ago.
Yeah, and then we harrowed it and packed it, and we're seeding into it, so.
It's pretty incredible that you can turn around and do that. And so now what you need, you said it's starting to blow a little bit today.
Yeah,
you said a little bit of dust?
Yeah, every once in a while it blows, and that's kind of disturbing. It's blowing my topsoil away. So we got to get this. I should have been seeding a week earlier, but I couldn't get the seed. I was waiting for this. The guy didn't have the seed off and cleaned and then, processed. So I was able to secure some seed the other day, and we're going now. We should have been in here a week ago. But
okay, so now we're just waiting for a little bit of moisture, but it's definitely warm enough to germinate.
This is germinating. Some of it could use a little bit of rain, some of it's a little on the deeper side too. But it's a compromise with this drill and the conditions after plowing. It is a little rough. I should have really harrowed it again, but if I harrow it, it's going to blow worse. So we're doing what we can.
And tell me just a little bit about this drill. It's a seed drill, is that correct, Farmer John?
It's a 30-year-old John Deere hoe drill. It's the epitome of hoe drills before air seeders took over in the early 90s. And it's a really good, nice. I'm not a John Deere person, but they did make a really good drill, and it's 20 feet, and we've got markers on each end, so we don't use GPS. We're not using auto steer like most people are. We're using those markers that come down and they make a mark, and then you just follow it.
So Farmer John, tell me a little bit about this seed drill and how it works. I know when I was out with Farmer Rob Brunel, out in St. Rose, he had the plate for corn, yeah, and it had a vacuum and actually sucked each kernel.
And it puts the seeds exactly 3 inches apart or 4 or whatever.
Exactly, it was perfectly, yeah.
Yeah, whereas with this, they're just tumbling out here. It's just they're just like rolling out here. They just tumble.
And I'm just going to take a look at this so you can explain a little bit about this.
There's called those fluted cups there, those little flutes.
So that's this part right here where we see the seed.
The flutes just turn, and the faster you go, they're not speed. No matter how fast you go, they can go slow, go fast, and it just tumbles and falls down that tube.
The tube, yeah, and that's gravity fed, correct?
It's totally just falling from gravity. Yeah, as long as there's gravity, this drill's working. So.
Okay.
And if it plugs up, if one plugs up, if something happens down here, this tube will fill up and it'll start. When it starts pouring out the front here, you have to stop and unplug. Something got plugged up at the bottom.
Okay, inside the tube.
That's your blockage sensor, and the new ones have a sensor on the line, like a little thing on a air seeders. They'll show you in their cab a computer model. But with this, my eyes are my sensors when I look back to see that shaft has to be turning. And
okay.
See in the middle, I have a shiny piece so I can see what's turning.
Okay.
A little piece of tin foil. You can see when that.
Oh, okay, I see that.
I have my mirror set so you can actually look ahead at the rear view mirror and look down at these.
So there's that. Where's the tin foil? I'm trying to find it.
There.
Oh, there it is. Okay, right there. So you have that so it glints when you're looking behind you, so you can see that it's moving.
Yeah, there's a little flip there. You can see that shaft has to be turning, or else you're not going to see it. And I can see it from the mirror. You can have it set up so I can look in my rear view mirror and look back at it.
Okay. John, I have another question here for you regarding. I see this part here. It's it looks like it measures. What does that do for the seed?
That opens and closes those cups to put more wheat, let more wheat or less wheat come out, or whatever you're seeding. So.
And what is average for winter wheat then? Because this will change for each crop that you're planting.
Yeah, well, they're getting technical now, but we're around 2 bushels per acre of seed is what you want to go with, roughly.
Okay.
We have been as low as 1.5 bushels. Some people go higher than that.
And that's how this is measured by bushel?
Yeah. It's
so that's why I see just a little bit above 2 or 2.0.
Some people are getting more now. We're talking million seeds per acre and stuff. If you're seeding corn, you're doing so many 100,000 plants, but we still talk bushels per week. So
okay.
At least I do. So.
All right.
And if you're seeding like oats or something, you'd have to put like 3 bushels, so we'd be up at about 35. If you're seeding oats, that would be quite a bit more open.
Okay.
And if you're seeding canola, we'd be down at 1, and we'd be having.
Because that's a very tiny seed.
Canola seed, we'd have a slow speed gears on here, and we'd be down about 2.
Okay.
Those cups would be just barely open.
Okay.
And they'd be going half speed. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So everything depends on what crop you're seeding.
So I have to change the gears to seed canola, so it drives us at half the speed.
Okay.
And those cups are only going half as fast. So that little tiny seed, I can go down like 6 pounds an acre.
Okay.
Instead of, we're seeding about 120 pounds here.
Oh, wow.
Down to like 5 to 6 pounds per acre.
Okay.
As opposed to about 120 pounds.
Right.
So
right.
That's the range.
All right. We're up here on top of the cedar. This is called a cedar, correct?
A seed drill. A hoe drill.
A hoe drill. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking about this specific seed. So this is winter wheat. This is fresh. This is this year's.
This was combined probably less than a month ago, yeah.
Okay.
And he cleaned it, and I'm seeding it.
And you're seeding it. And you said there's some farmers that like to treat the seed.
You can treat it with the chemical supposedly to, I guess.
And it's for what? Well, pesticides or
diseases for root rot and some sort of pythium and
okay.
some diseases, but I just don't see it. I like to be able to put my hands down here and not have to wear gloves like that. See that little picture there? It says warning.
Oh yeah.
See that?
Oh yeah, that's what it says.
Chemicals may cause
and over time, because your skin absorbs, right?
Yeah,
it absorbs all of that stuff. So this is it's really quite pretty.
Some of them are, but there's some kind of lighter ones, and see the darker ones. There's what they call piebalgs. But they're basically, it's just nice hard red winter wheat. So.
And I'm actually surprised that this is already, this has just come out of the ground. It's just been cleaned. It's from this season.
And it's starting to grow again.
Well, and then it's that dry.
Well, yeah.
It's not wet.
Well, no, it's dry wheat, yeah. So there's a few, yeah. But it wasn't grown around here. It was grown, I think, across the mountain somewhere. I don't know where it came from exactly. But see, here I have all these fancy. See, there's what the setting is for bushel of rye. There's my numbers here. 25 for this. Flax is 13. Soybeans somewhere on here somewhere. Soybeans is 14. So I've written numbers on here so I know.
So you don't have to guess. It's all right here.
Because there's some calibration here, but it doesn't exactly right. Like there's a chart here.
Yeah.
See, we're at 24, and it says we're only seeding 94. But
I'm going to go slowly here so I don't make everyone
there's
busy.
A chart that shows you wheat, peas, there's millet, there's flax, there's soybeans, there's rice, there's everything on here. This drill will seed almost anything. So. Okay. And that's your chart. So. But that's not always right, depending on how heavy. This is heavy wheat, so it's going out. We got to adjust accordingly here. And fertilizer has been unkind. It's rusting. It's cancerous to the metal here, obviously. So.
Yeah. Can we take a look at that? The other side.
How rusty it is in here.
Yeah. So this is the fertilizer side that you add.
Yeah, and the sealed box is almost.
Yes.
This is all rusted.
Yeah, and you can smell it, like the fertilizer. Yeah, so this is the stuff you don't touch with your hands.
I try to wear gloves when you can, but this is potash. See, the red stuff is potash. This is potash and phosphate, which is good for potash. Phosphate is good for winter survival.
Okay.
Hardiness to put it with the seed.
All right.
We're not putting any nitrogen, basically. Well, very little.
Yeah, and that's the potash, the red.
And the red is the potash, and that comes out of Saskatchewan, probably.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just drove through Saskatchewan, and you see lots of fertilizer plants from there. Hey.
But you can see my lids are all severely cancerous here from the rust.
So that's why you try to pick up as much as you can and keep it as in the box.
Well, yeah, and it's this is all rusted in here. You can see the rust here.
And how old is this machinery again?
This drill is 30 years old.
Now, the technology for this drill, you said, is almost 100 years old.
Yeah, the seeded, the fluted cup, that part is, yeah. So, but they put a bigger, back in the old days, you'd have a smaller box. You have more bushels per foot on a newer machine. That's the only difference. They put a bigger box on top.
Okay.
But the idea of turning the cup, that's been around forever. Get that line down there.
I'll get you to repeat that and speak loud.
We're gonna have to drop the drill a little bit sooner than the start, about here. And then we're gonna have to put the markers. Got to come down. Markers going down. Turning, I think, aren't they back there? Can you see it there?
Yeah. They're all turning nice.
Yeah. And we're following our line going this way.
And I see the tin foil.
The seagulls are eating worms.
So is that what they're out for?
Yeah, I think so.
And they don't eat your wheat
September the 8th today, and yet we're still seeing surprisingly amount of green, and these trees are not turning. Like they haven't started to not that fall colors yet, so that's kind of unusual.
For this time of year, hey?
We've lost over a week in September, yeah. So.
Yeah, but we had a very late spring.
I guess, yeah.
Right?
We're making up. Might be making
yeah,
up.
And we've had a beautiful hot summer. So I have a question for you, John. I know I was talking to a few other farmers. I've heard rumors that Dauphin actually is in a bumper crop situation. Does that sound accurate to you? Like after the year we had for the fields that were producing, they have done exceptionally well.
Well, it sure looks like it. I'm seeing some crops look pretty good, and my fall rye did exceptionally well without any fertilizer. Rain makes grain, and we had a lot of rain earlier, so I see some crops that look, they sure look good. I don't know how they're going to end up in the bin at the end of the day, but Mother Nature did kind of.
And so even though there was losses where they got drowned out or there was wet, so you lost that section of your land, or maybe you didn't have time to seed,
right.
Where you did seed, it was like, what would you say, like as far as returns, what was compared to what you were expecting?
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't think that fall rye would, I thought it was wet. You wouldn't believe how much water was on that in my field anyway, in my situation. That both this winter wheat and fall rye, surprisingly shocking amount of water, and then they produced, and without much inputs either. So I'm kind of glad I didn't put the whole farm in, because I'd have a huge bill right now, and hoping the prices are starting to come down. That's a bad thing. Canola is dropping, wheat's coming down a bit too, but canola, all the prices for what we get and yet fertilizer hasn't dropped yet. Still paying big bucks for this fertilizer that goes in the drill box.
Right.
And yet the seed, what we get for what we grow is starting to erode or come down. So that's where cost price squeeze is going to come in when you're paying too much.
So we're really yet to find out how that's all going to pan out, right?
Well,
until you actually get to balance your books and you take it in and get your price, correct?
And those prices are coming down. They see there's a big crop out here, so the traders are pushing that the futures are all coming down, and that's reflective of what you get in the elevator. So.
Okay, and then the other question I had, because we're kind of coming to the end of our day here together, with sowing, I'll say sowing, is that accurate? Sowing winter wheat?
Yeah.
So this is going in now. Some of your seed has been in for 24 hours, maybe a little bit longer, maybe on the other end of the field, right? Now, what does this look like? We're waiting for rain so that it continues to germinate and actually root itself.
Yeah, some of the ones that aren't too well seeded down could use a little, just a few tenths or just a sprinkle, not much.
Because there is moisture in the ground, is there not?
Yeah, most of it they're hitting moisture, but in my case, because of unevenness with the plow afterwards, and this drill isn't as new as it once was, we're getting some depth issues, so some are too shallow, and some you can see there's some laying on top, basically almost on top.
Okay.
And they're going to need time, a little bit of moisture to play catch up.
Okay.
And this wind may blow a little, because this land is so light, they'll actually get a little dusting over top of them, which might be a good thing to cover them up.
Okay.
But we need to get this. There you can see the dust starting to blow now in the fields. It's moving. It's kind of sad to see the field moving across right in front of us. So.
Well, hopefully, if you get a little bit of moisture, that would slow that down, right?
Yeah,
a sprinkle. Is there anything in the forecast?
Not much. So.
Okay.
And the winds need to. We've had a lot of excessively high, like kind of windy days. That's what we could use less of right now.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But I'm hopeful this is the newer variety. This is supposed to be fairly winter hardy. It'll give it a good test here, because normally you like to see winter wheat into a stubble, a standing stubble of that with the previous crop, like canola.
So about half a foot?
A stubble like that.
8 inches?
It'll chop snow, and the snow will stay about that deep, because the field like there, like this, the wind can just basically blow it right down.
It erodes the soil.
So then you don't keep the snow cover as much. You need to get an early snow that kind of melts and takes a hold, and then it doesn't blow. That's in a perfect world.
Okay.
Field, and we're seeding it in. We've got a shelter belt here, and there's some trees over there. We pick and choose where we put our winter wheat on these bare fields, so they're not getting too mild sweet, but just
right, not your bare open field.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend. I'm going to put rye on the other side here, because it's completely open all the way to the west.
Yeah.
So there'll be rye go over here, and I'm going to put winter wheat over there where it's next to across the road near some bush, and we'll put rye that's more exposed, so we kind of pick what, because wheat just isn't as, the best winter wheat isn't as hardy as the fall rye is. So fall rye is much more hardy than winter wheat.
Okay.
It is.
Which we saw this spring when we went to see the crop, especially with moisture, right?
It came through, and so.
Okay.
We're able to get seed a little closer to home this year too. I had to drive to Saskatchewan to get my rye seed last year, so hopefully we don't have to do that this year.
Okay, all right.
And we're ready to go here. I think I'll put some fertilizer in the drill, and you can see how that's what we used to call it. Those are called, that's called a drill fill in the truck there. And now when you air seeders, you usually have an auger mounted on right on the tank, and they're not it's just an auger, and you back the truck up and you dump into it, and it goes into my truck. And you have to hoist it up to get the height, and it's called a drill fill.
Yeah.
And it's kind of old technology.
Yeah.
But you don't see it either. There's a few of us around. But you have to get off the Trans-Canada Highway to find it.
So, and I guess you're off to finish seeding your field then?
Yeah, we're up to, my acre counter, I don't know what to say now, but I'd say there's less than 10 acres here to go, maybe.
Okay. All right.
And we'll try and get her tucked in tonight and get off this field and let this stuff start to grow, do its magic here.
Okay.
We should be combining here in 11 months from now, maybe. So.
Sounds good. Well, Farmer John, thanks for having me out again to take a look at the farm, what's going on out here, and I love it because it's a good snapshot of what's taking place all around the parkland.
Yeah, it's good to have you out.
Dr. Brenna and Three Graces MediSpa has been inspiring love, confidence, and health and humanity since 2019. Dr. Brenna's skin therapists have the advanced knowledge required to revitalize and rejuvenate your skin. Radiofrequency, microneedles, chemical peels, and oxygen neo superfacials are just a couple of the treatments we offer. To learn more about Dr. Brenna and Three Graces MediSpa, visit our website at threegraces.ca or call us at 204-572-5774 for a free consultation. Thank you to our show sponsors, Bankert Marketing, Dr. Brenna and Three Graces MediSpa, Real Security Solutions, Right Side Equipment of Dauphin, Oil Depot of Dauphin, Roofs, Furniture and Appliances of Dauphin, Tri-Family Health, Beauty and Fine Gifts of the Paw, Ramsey's Health and Fitness of Dauphin, Cloud9 Canna Supplies, Fudd's Corner Store, and Hearts to Nature Fine Art Nature Photography. See you next week.